Welcome to Wine Road, the wine, when, and where of Northern Sonoma County. I'm your host, Marcy Gordon, with Beth Costa, Executive Director of the Wine Road.
Thanks to Ron Rubin, we're able to keep our podcast rolling along. The financial support of River Road Family Vineyards and Winery allows us to keep recording, keep sipping wine, and keep sharing stories with our listeners. Check out their website at riverroadvineyards.com and explore their Chardonnay, as well as a finely crafted Pinot Noir from the Russian River Valley. That's riverroadvineyards.com. And hey, thanks, Ron, for allowing us to make this show happen.
Welcome to episode 218. Today, our guest is...
You're going to forget Osborn, huh?
I was going to say Olson.
I think you did call me Olson.
Debbie Olson. She makes coffee.
Like as soon as you started, I
Swedish.
thought, do you even know Debbie's last name?
She's a Swedish girl. Today we're going to talk...
Just think Ozzy Osbourne. You'll remember it.
Oh, no, don't plant the seed to things like that.
Stop. Welcome to episode 218. Today our guest is the wonderful Debbie Osborn, who is...
The event manager
at the Wine Road, and who's glaring at me through her fabulous glasses. We were talking before the show started about how Debbie is so zen because she just shuts me down. She just knows how to, ignore me. I mean, it's like, gosh, you were born to just, turn my buttons off, and which is probably a good thing because I'm a little over the top.
When you're an event manager, you have to learn to be able to put out all the outside noise. You just...
Yeah.
Oh, now I think she called you outside noise. I'm pretty sure.
I am your host, Outside Noise Gordon.
Marcy, outside noise.
That is priceless.
But I know
it sounds like a band name.
Under that iceberg veneer, she has a heart of gold. Welcome, Deb.
Oh, my God. Okay, so we do get to start today with some... We forgot to bring wine. Usually we have winemakers on and they bring wine. But guess what? Once again, Richard came to our rescue.
Richard came to the rescue because we do a wine of the day, and we didn't bring a wine of the day. But luckily, Richard's garage doubles as the world's greatest wine cellar.
No kidding.
And he is stocked... And what's stocked up with? A Ron Rubin Russian River Valley Pinot Noir.
Yeah, he said he really enjoyed that for Thanksgiving.
This is a 2022. They've changed their label a bit, but this one, I might have to, we're opening this and I might have to take it home. So, we're going to enjoy this. This is, you cannot go wrong with this wine. It's a beautiful wine. So thank you for bringing that from your cellar, Richard, and we will open this up and enjoy it.
And then we'll let Debbie talk.
All right, let's let Debbie talk before she puts a hex on me.
What am I supposed to say?
So we want Debbie to tell us, because she is the aficionado, the expert, the event manager for the Wine Road, and she's been there for years and years, really fine-tuning and improving the events year after year after year, and really evaluating how each event goes, what can we do different, how can we make it better. So
she's the master puppeteer. She makes it happen.
Yes, it's like Oz. She's the wizard. She's the Wizard of Oz.
Osborn.
Oh my God, there we go.
She's the Wizard of Osborn.
Look at me.
Look at you. Yeah, let's look at you.
I'm the great and powerful Oz of the Wine Road.
Can you put that on your card?
That actually would be pretty cool.
The great and powerful
time for a
Oz.
change. Yeah.
So we thought we'd just talk about 2025 and all the events we have going. So where do we start in 2025? What's the first thing we have going?
Winter WINEland.
Winter WINEland.
Yes, so that is coming up on January 18th and 19th.
So at this point, there's about 5 days left to buy tickets.
Yes.
So
you got to get your tickets. Tickets end on January 13th at 7 p.m. And this event this year, we actually have quite a few wineries. We have 72 wineries participating this year.
Nice.
All across.
That is awesome.
Yeah, there's a lot of wineries. It's going to be wonderful, though. They're spread all along Alexander, Dry Creek, and Russian River valleys. So you'll have a big choice to make when you decide to buy a ticket and come out.
Follow the wine brick road. You follow the wine brick road.
This is where Debbie goes, okay, stop engaging.
It's Winter WINEland, Winter WINEland.
The thing is, so many wineries is huge because, we did come back on our holiday kind of wrap-up show a couple weeks ago. I talked about how in 2024 the events really started building back up, and we have about 2,000 people at each event. And the wineries went from 30 wineries to 40 wineries to 50 wineries. And to have 70, that is fantastic. I'm super excited about that. And it is a great time of year. I think people have, used a lot of their wine over the holidays. And so by the end of January, it's just a great time to come out, kind of restock the wine that you had in your cellars and do something just for you. You know, the holidays are over. It was a rush. It was crazy. So now in January, you can just get a couple friends together and go out and enjoy the vineyards.
Yeah, in December we do so much for other people. So this is a time for us to be like, hey, I'm going back to myself now.
Right.
I actually want to do something for me, which means I'm going to drink wine.
Yeah, exactly.
And we do have quite a few new to Wine Road, new wineries that are participating, new locations. So we have a couple wineries that have moved spots or opened up a new spot. So it's a whole different event this year, I think.
And what, like looking at the program, I have admittedly not read through the program. What kinds of things do people do? Or are people doing anything special?
There are some people that are going to be doing food pairing. There's, I would say around 20 wineries, maybe a little less than 20 wineries that are going to be doing food.
Okay.
Little bites. So
Right.
it's not going to be like wine and food fair where there's a big food pairing, but they are doing food. A lot of places are going to still keep up kind of that holiday atmosphere. So they'll have decorations from Christmas.
Nice. It's festive.
Like Peshmel still has their little ski
The chairlift?
the chairlift.
Yeah, I think
what it
that's
was
cool.
called. Yeah, so they have that, and it's a photo opportunity, and snowflakes, and just think kind of like a white winter wonderland, even though we're here in the wine country, and we don't really have that. It'll be green.
yeah, it's green, but we pretend it's snowing.
Yeah, this is when we get our, little snow part of Christmas. Or
Right.
of,
It's a pretty
winter.
time of year,
Right.
too.
Yes.
Yeah, it's beautiful out in
Yeah.
the vineyards. I think it's a nice time. And I shouldn't probably say this, but we usually have decent weather. You know, it's funny because sometimes leading up to Winter WINEland, it's, powerful rain. And then that weekend, it seems to always end up being nice. So, and it is a 3-day weekend. It's Martin Luther King Jr. birthday weekend. And so a lot of wineries are doing something on Monday. Also, if you just have your Winter WINEland ticket, they might extend the same wine tasting that they were doing for the weekend to ticket holders on Monday. So you could make it a 3-day weekend, stay an extra day.
Yeah, especially with 70 wineries, you're only going to be able to see so many each day. So
Right.
if you're here on Monday, you can go and see, it'll be lesser crowds, and you can go see the wineries that maybe you had on your list but weren't able to, or you can go back and visit somewhere and buy the wine you were eyeing.
Right. So after Winter WINEland, then what's happening?
Then we have barrel tasting, or barrel weekend, excuse me. So we actually changed the name this year to Barrel Weekend because
Barrel Weekend, I like that.
Yeah. So we are still having wineries are still going to be doing, some of the wineries will be doing barrel tasting from the barrel. There will be some doing current releases, and then there are some that will be doing libraries. So the theme this year is past, present, and future.
Nice.
So, we actually have quite a few wineries that are doing all three. So you'll be able to do a tasting of library wine, a tasting of current release, and then a tasting from the barrel.
I like that.
And there also will still be futures available at some of these wineries. It'll all be listed in the program. And this is on March 1st and 2nd.
I like past, present, and future. It really gives you a whole array of what, where the wine was, where it's going, and how, how it is right now. I like that.
Yeah, how it's changed or
Yeah.
evolved over the years.
Exactly.
Well, and consumers are different also. I mean, I think that when barrel tasting started, 40-something years ago, people really loved the idea of buying futures. And for wineries, it really financially did pay for the glass bottles or whatever you're paying for the wine now. You're not going to get it for 8 months or a year later, but that money is going to be used at the winery to do that. And that just isn't really how it works anymore. It's different, and consumers are not as willing to buy futures and wait a year. So I think that this is a great change and something new. And it's very rare you get to go wine tasting and taste library wines.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a super perk.
If you
I'm
get
really
to do
looking
that, it's usually a pretty high fee for you to have to go do library wine. So if you can go to a winery and they have, say a Zinfandel, and they're doing a past tasting of it, a current tasting, and a future tasting,
Right.
that's just so cool to be able to taste how everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm super excited.
It's
about
also reflects how consumers want to buy wine now.
Right.
It's
That's the thing.
it's different. So it's really dovetailed to consumer habits and how the wineries want to showcase their wines. So
Absolutely. I think also, we've always kind of gone around with barrel tasting, it kind of being a learning experience as well. It's educational. And having it be past, present, and future gives you a little bit more of that
just builds
education.
on that, sure.
It does. So it's not just you tasting barrel wines and buying futures. You actually are getting a little bit more of an education on how it works and how they've created it. And when you do store a wine for years and years, this is what it could taste like and how, it softens it up. And, there's just so many different aspects of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited. I'm excited about that. I just like change. I like something pretty new. I think people are still signing up for barrel tasting, but hopefully there'll be some wineries that will also offer those wine offerings on Friday, because we know there's also people that travel here from all over the country and come in maybe on Wednesday or Thursday ahead of time. So hopefully we'll have some opportunity for them to go tasting on Friday as well.
Yeah, and the Friday would be not technically a part of the event.
Right.
It would be kind of you show your ticket and you're able to taste at these handful of wineries that are coming out.
I think with all of our events, the one thing we constantly try to stress to people is please, please, please look at the program before you make your plans, because we really do collect a lot of information about what every winery is going to offer for every event. It's like coming up with Winter WINEland. If you're looking for, wineries that have food, but you just randomly drive to these 4 or 5 wineries, maybe none of those wineries have food. You really need to look at the program and, see what they're offering. Some are going to do a discount, some are going to do food, some are going to have the winemaker there. So really see what they're doing. And the same with barrel tasting. Now that there is the past, present, and future, some wineries may only be pouring the present. So if you're really interested in futures, and make sure you've checked the program and see what the winery's offering.
Absolutely. And the wineries are still giving us their wine that they're going to be pouring. So they on the program, it actually will list out what each winery is going to be pouring, whether it's a past, present, or a future. So you guys can kind of plan ahead to what you want to do.
See what's next. Okay, and then after that,
we have Wine and Food Affair.
Yay. That's become Marcy's new favorite thing. She just loved the food this year.
Oh,
it was raving about.
I didn't get to taste it, but I saw
amazing.
it on the program and it looked awesome.
Yeah.
And the portions were enormous.
Mm.
Yeah, it was just really, everyone really stepped it up.
Oh, good. Well, that's great to hear. Honestly, we haven't had anything but positive feedback from this year.
It was one of the best.
Yeah, they did. I thought the wineries did a really nice job in planning the types of food that they were going to be pairing with their wines. They really put a lot of thought into it.
And that's too. I always use the program to plan out. I plan out Saturday and Sunday, and I look at the foods, and then I look at where we are. And well, if I'm having beef stew here, maybe I'll go someplace that's doing something a little different over here, and it makes it a really nice experience. So yeah, planning ahead is the key to happiness.
It really is key. And so all that information is always online. When tickets go on sale, you can kind of see, start making your plans then. And then when is Wine and Food Affair?
Wine and Food Affair is November 1st and 2nd. So barrel tasting and Wine and Food Affair are the same 1st and 2nd of March, 1st and 2nd of November. Just happened to work out neatly like that.
Nice. Now I've got to remember that. I mean, it's surprising to me how many people have already asked me, have emailed and want to find out the dates, because they're planning ahead. Like they came this year and they want to know next year the dates, because they're trying to book their hotels and make sure everything's ready to go.
Yeah. I get emails even before the event happens on when the one is for next year.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's...
Well, what a great way to plan a trip. The first couple of times when we came out here, we weren't living in California at the time. I planned it around a wine event,
right?
So it would be a focus, and it makes it really fun. And then you have the rest of your time to do what you want. But it's really nice to focus it around an event. And what a better event than Barrel Weekend or Food and Wine Affair, or even Winter WINEland.
Well, and I think if you're trying to get new friends to come with you, you need to know a year ahead of time.
Friends.
If you're you need to get the dates, get it going. Okay, so then those are the 3 big events that have been going for years and years and years and years and years and years and years. But what about our wine trails, Deb? We got to tell people about that. So we have 5 of those scheduled in 2025.
Yes, we have one in February.
It's the Wine Love Weekend. It's February 15th. So those events are one-day events, and there's 5 of them. They're quarterly, and then we threw in a holiday market that'll be in December. So all of the dates are online already. And the idea with the wine trail is that it is just one day. You don't get a wristband or a glass or anything else. You just order your ticket online, and you show your ticket on your phone at the participating wineries. There's usually about 30 wineries that participate, and it's $50 for the day. There's no other tasting fees involved, so you just look at the wineries participating, and you can pick, we suggest maybe 4 wineries in a day. If you're Possibly you could get to 5, but there's no tasting fees. And these days, most of those wineries would be charging you $20 for tasting. And so if you can go to 4 wineries for $50, it's a pretty substantial savings. It's a great way to get to some new wineries that maybe you're not familiar with, or, you have your favorites that you just want to see all the time. So they're a great deal. So there's one in February, there's one in May, there's one in July, there's one in September, and then there's one at Christmas time.
Nice.
Yeah, so the wine trails. And they're it's online right now for the February one, and then usually the tickets go on sale about 3 weeks before the event. We found that a lot of people are coming from the Bay Area. It's real, it's a day trip for them, so tickets end up selling 1 or 2 days ahead of time. So
The nice part about the wine trail is that we also have some wineries that don't traditionally participate in
do
the
the
bigger
bigger
events
events.
because they
Yeah.
just don't have that type of staffing
Right.
or wine that they can pour out. But
Right.
they participate in these single-day events.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And the thing
Mhm.
about the wine trails is the wineries list exactly what they're going to be pouring. And so they all have to do a minimum of 3 wines for the ticket holders for tasting. So you can see exactly what they're pouring. So again, you have to look at the program. But it's a big deal. Anything else we need to talk about?
You actually touched on a good point about how after COVID things have been, building
Slow.
up slowly and kind of like coming. And I think the one thing I can tell you just from this year and watching the wineries and how they're signing up and how enthusiastic they are, it's actually nice and seeing everyone kind of come back and
Right.
be excited and looking forward to the events and participating in more things than they have in the past. They're really interested in getting involved. And just seeing the enthusiasm when they put out their stuff for, their food pairings for Wine and Food Affair,
Right.
or when they give me their program details, or they're super excited. There's a lot of engagement. So I think, just on the standpoint of being someone who plans the events and is watching the events, and this is kind of what I do year round, it's nice seeing how everything's kind of coming together now.
Yes, people are embracing it.
People are really excited to come out and be here. I mean, I think we kind of take for granted because we live here where we live and what we see every day and
You're
what we
right.
see on our drive home and, all of that. But when, for other people, when they're in different places and they come here, it's totally different for them,
Even I live here. When I did Winter Wine and Food Affair, we were just driving along and like, God, look at that, look at that.
That's so
Because it's-
pretty, right?
Even living here, you never get jaded with how beautiful the wine roads are and driving around. And it's just, you can't get enough of it. It really is beautiful. We went with some friends this year and it was so lovely. And I think people come from out of town and, it's just, you want to come back again and again because it's such a fun thing and it's a great way to build a visit too.
Well, the nice part too is kind of all the events hit at a certain change of our, seasons. So if you come in Wine and Food Affair, all the colors of the vineyards are changing.
Right.
That's like my favorite time when you kind of see it. And it's
so
like
pretty.
they all change in this really pretty pattern. You'll see lots of the dark reds and oranges. I just love that part of the season. And then when it comes in January, all the leaves are off and they're starting to kind of bud and grow. So it's starting again. But even then, after they do all the pruning, the way the vines look is beautiful.
It is beautiful. And then the mustard comes
The
up.
Yeah,
mustard
for March
comes out.
barrel tasting,
Yeah.
it's always the March.
It is. It's
beautiful.
a different look each event.
So for all of our events, the tickets sales always end the Monday prior to the event weekend. And tickets are not sold at the door for any of those events. So you kind of need to plan ahead for that. And ticket sales for Winter WINEland, which are happening now and going fast, they do end, it's the 13th,
The
January
13th.
13th. So you just got a couple more days and ticket sales will end for that. You could go online to wineroad.com. And right on the homepage, there's a link to Winter WINEland. You can see all the participating wineries. There's a Google map that shows where they all are if you want to kind of see who's next to who when you're planning your time. And then a really super detailed program. And there's a PDF program you can also print out if you want to, do some highlighting and circling at home. But check it out. Winter WINEland. What is this? I want to say the 28th or 29th, or where are we at now? Winter WINEland.
For Winter WINEland, I thought
30-something.
the 32nd, I think.
32nd.
Wow.
Yowza.
It's been going on before I was born.
You and me both, Marcy.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know. I was around. I was born. Yeah, I was born. Yeah, all these events are, barrel tastings over 40 years. So,
They're legendary.
People have been coming for years and years and years. We usually have that on the order form. We'd like to know if this is your first time attending or if you've been a few times or over 10 years. And it's always mind-blowing to me how many people who have come for over 10 times to some of these events. And, some people end up writing back like, we should have more. Like, we've been there 30 times. I'm like, okay.
Barrel tasting is going to be its 47th year.
Yeah, 47 years.
It's a testament to the legacy of the Wine Road and the wineries and the participants that this event has gone on that many years in a row. A lot of people, they do something for, 10 years and they scrap it. But the enthusiasm around this is just proof in the pudding that this is what people want. And
I think
it's well
they
organized.
have all really evolved because we also have really listened to consumers. And if people, if one person doesn't like something, that's that one person. But you get 4 or 5 people that say this was a problem, then, we address that and we figure out how can we change that? How can we make it better? We do want people to come and we do want them to buy wine and we want them to explore the wineries that have been participating. If it's barrel tasting, somebody's been one of these wineries like Pedroncelli, they've done all of them, so for 47 years they've supported this event. We want you to go see them. We also want you to see the new winery that just opened, 2 months before that and check them out. So
Debbie pulls all those strings and makes it happen.
We always strive to be better every year.
Yeah. Me too.
So I think, no, I don't. I gave up on that. I'm like, no, this is what you see is what you get.
I'm striving to be taller next year.
Me too.
Me too. Okay, so I think that's it. And so hopefully you get some tickets. We see you at Winter WINEland. If not, we'll catch up over barrel tasting weekend in March. And don't forget about those little wine trails if you just have one day. That's a great way to get to a lot of places. That is, I keep saying that's the golden ticket. I mean, my God, $50 and no tasting fees and no reservations.
That's a deal.
That is a deal.
Super deal.
If you go to even 2 wineries, you're making it up
you
already.
did okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Plus,
absolutely.
with the wine trails, we also are donating $1 from every ticket sold throughout the year for the wine trails to the Redwood Empire Food Bank.
Excellent.
Which is an organization locally that we have been supporting for about 20 years now. And at this point, we've done lots of different events where we've donated $1. Like barrel tasting, it's $10 for designated drivers. All of that money goes to the food bank. It's all a donation. So I think we've donated about $450,000 just from, it does add up.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So that's
All
it.
right. Well,
thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Debbie,
Thanks,
for
Deb.
all you
Thanks for
do
having me.
and all the
Wizard of Oz, Debbie?
yeah, the Wizard of Debbie, the Wizard of
Oz.
No, what did I say before?
I
It
don't
was
know.
better.
The Wonderful Wizard of Oz?
No, something about
We'll have
The
to
Great
go
and
back
Powerful Oz.
the
Yeah, the
great,
great- oh, Debbie likes that one.
Yeah.
No, it was the Wine Oz.
The wine
The
Oz.
Wine Oz.
The great. We'll have to listen to our own show. Like how soon we forget. That was only like 5 minutes ago we said that. But
Imagine living in Marcy's world.
anyways, I want to say thank you to Richard for our wine of the day, bringing this beautiful Ron Rubin
Yeah,
Pinot.
this was a nice save.
That was nice. If you want to call Debbie at home,
Yeah. Let me
Have
find
any
Marcy's phone
questions
number and I'll
for
give it to you.
Yeah.
she's available 24/7 to answer your questions. No, but thanks, Deb. Everything, wouldn't happen without you.
That's right. That is right.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Okay, talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.